Hey there. Have you ever thought or felt like it was too late to start? It was too late to begin painting, like you're too old and it's just too late to start. So I am here to tell you that it's never too late to begin, and that there are certain steps and changes that you can make to help you on your journey. So in today's tutorial, I'm playing with some color and talking about how to start thinking and doing things that get you to the canvas so you can start having fun playing. So we're talking about it's never too late to start. So hello, never too old, Nancy, never too old. And we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to shift you down a little bit so you can see what I'm working on, and we'll get started. Let's see how that is. All right, just give me a thumbs up in the comments. Let me know that that is, you can see that on my canvas. I'm just going to pull out a few different colors. I'm feeling like blue today. So tell me, is that something that has crossed your mind, that you felt like, this is impossible for me, I'm too old, it's just too late to even start? Because we are going to blow that concept out of the water today. I'm playing with some green. I'm feeling like blue, green, maybe a little bit of gray. I've got a spring green here. It's like a little deeper green. And then a lime sherbet. What do you think I should work with today? Let me know in the comments. A couple different greens, like a lighter green and a darker green. I'm going to pull out a little bit of black to make a gray. And some white. So if you're new here, I'm Heather Freeman with the Painted Playground. And I get to play with paint and teach women how to play with paint and have super loads of fun playing with paint. So let's see, let's start with, pull up some blue, make a lighter shade of blue, and just loosey-goosey putting on my first layer. A little here, a little there. Just playing around with wherever my paintbrush feels like going. So I don't know, does anybody here watch, the lime? Yeah, okay. Use the lime green. It's kind of a bright, funky, fun color. Let's get that down on my palette. Hi Kim, where do I get those big tubes of basic paint? Who sells them? Yeah, so these are, this one right here, I've got a couple big tubes. This is, I get paints from all over the place, and locally I have a Walmart, so this is an apple barrel, and this is, I got a black here, and then my Liquitex. These are basic acrylics that I love to use. And I get, one of my favorite places to get that is Dick Blick. Dick Blick Arts. If you Google that, you can pop that up. So yeah, so does anybody here watch America's Got Talent? So that's kind of where I got started watching, some of those talent shows. And America's Got Talent, and then of course Britain's Got Talent came out at some point, and I was watching that, and I don't know if anyone has heard of Susan Boyle. Thank you, you're welcome. Yeah, thanks for asking. Susan Boyle, anyone hear her sing? So she her mom, she was 47 when she got on Britain's Got Talent. If you Google it or get on YouTube and search for it, I'm sure you can find it. Susan Boyle is her name, if you haven't seen it. And she, so she was 47 when she got on that show. She was encouraged by her mom to do it and got on the stage and started belting out, "I dream a dream." And it was like, the crowd just like, it really wowed everybody. And it even brought me to tears when I was listening to it. Just an incredible voice. It was amazing. And she was 47. So that's kind of, what inspired me to do this tutorial today, is that I think a lot of people think, oh, it's past my time, it's too late. It's too late for me. This isn't something that I could do, and it's just not true. It's just not true. If you've got that spark inside you that says, I really want to paint, or I really want to create, you gotta do it. It's never too late. So, she got a standing ovation. She became a YouTube sensation overnight, and in her country, in Britain, became super popular, off the charts. It's all right. I think I'm gonna go with that. My first layer. I'm gonna play around with a little bit of black. Thinking. I want to see some dots. So I'm just taking the back of my paintbrush, just playing with some dots. So Susan was really an inspiration for, doing this tutorial today, because you're never too old. My age is a factor, but mostly because of my eyesight. So we're going to be changing. Things are always changing and shifting, and we got to work with what we got, right? And make the best of what we have. And there's certainly ways to change up how we approach it, or what we're doing, or tools we're using to help with that. So it's never too late. So let's talk about it. Have you ever heard of Picasso? Pablo Picasso's, one of his quotes is, every child is an artist. The problem is, it goes something like this, the problem is for adults to figure out how to keep being an artist. And that's where we get stuck, we think, life gets in the way. We do all these other, responsibilities come up, and we do all these other things, and, we're multi-dimensional people, and so we've got, lots going on. And so we think, sometimes we think that it, wasn't meant to be. If it was, I would be doing it already. And those are all just limiting things that are keeping you from the canvas and keeping you from having fun. Because really, it's never too late. And part of the fun of painting and expressing yourself on the canvas is rediscovering who you are and what you have inside of you and what you want to express on the canvas. So that's really part of the fun, and you're never too old to play. You're never too old for that. So let's see. I'm going to turn that around because let me let you check that out. So I just kind of added some dots. I just kind of played around with my blues and greens, a little bit of white, some black dots, some green dots, just to loosen up on the canvas, loosen up and play. And then I'm going to shift you down even more because I want you to be able to see. I'm going to start transferring some letters onto that. All right. There we go. So I've got some fun letters. Letters are one of the things that I collect. I love letters, and so if you love something, start collecting it, and and then you kind of have this reservoir of things to play with. And so letters are one of them, and so I'm just going to use my letters, and today I'm going to use it as a tracer. Put a little piece of something on there. And then I'm going to paint in my letters. Just got to find my pen, or my pencil rather. Oh, it's right in front of me. There it is. And start tracing. So let's see, I might just plop these down just to play and see where they fit first before I just dive in, because I might need to space these out a little bit. There we go. These letters are fun. You can pop them out and you could paint on them. You could play around with these letters quite a bit and paint on top of them, draw on top of them. You could doodle on top of them. You could make stamp marks. So many different things that you could do with these letters, and then collage them on. But today I'm choosing to trace them on. So I think we'll do that. Just squish them over just a little bit more. Cool. All right, I'm just going to start tracing each letter. So there are so many people who get a start doing something later in life. Definitely some famous artists. I could pull up, let's see, we've got Monet. He was in his 40s when he really began painting. And that was nearly, halfway through his life. It is really fun, Lynette. It is really fun. Great idea. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, you bet. I love sharing. Sharing is caring. Especially when it comes to painting and playing, and that's what we're all about here, is sharing the fun. And there's so many ways to have fun. So Van Gogh, he started painting in his late 20s, and that's not, in our time, that's not late, but he did not have a very long life, and so he really was prolific in his last couple years of life and died at a younger age. Got my M. So when I'm just tracing around with a pencil, you could do this with a couple different ways. I could do it with a pen. I could do it with chalk, and that way the chalk can just wipe off afterwards, and I can paint around it. So there's some really fun ways that you can use tracers. And yes, using a tracer is still being creative. I like handwriting sometimes, but it's really fun to play around with different shapes of letters. And that's something too that you can really get good at is if you really enjoy, you got to follow your joy. So if you really enjoy lettering, you could really go off with that and doodle letters and get really good at handwriting and lettering, which is super fun. There's just so many avenues, so many ways that we can express ourselves on the canvas. So many ways to have fun. And that's what we do here, for sure. So let's see. I said Monet, Van Gogh, Mary Delaney. If you look her up, she was a decoupage artist. And she got started later in her life. And another one is Grandma Moses. She didn't start to paint until she was in her mid 70s, 75, 76. So age is certainly not a factor. All right. Got my letters down. Show you that. Imagine. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to start, if you're feeling that like it's too late, that it's just not in the cards for you. I'm here to say that is just, nothing could be farther from the truth. And that you can start painting and playing and having fun no matter your age. And one of the first things you can do is imagine. Use your imagination and start thinking about what's possible, and asking those what if questions. So what if I took out a piece of paper and a pencil and just started drawing? You don't have to do it. Just ask yourself the question. What if it's beautiful outside, so what if I just took a couple of paint colors and I took a piece of paper and I sat out back and I listened to the birds and I painted the trees or the flowers that are in my backyard? What if? And just start imagining that and thinking about that and keep asking that what if question. And you'll find that the creative juices start flowing. You know that feeling, right? The creative juices start flowing and you start to connect with that inner artist that is inside of you, that we all have, that we all share, that you were born with. Just keep painting in my lines, keep painting in my letters. So, and it requires, once you start imagining it and start connecting, I'm going to turn this over so you can see the letters start to fill in. It's to be, you got to be kind to yourself. And ask yourself, what did I do today and what can I do tomorrow that allows me to reclaim that part of me that wants to create, that wants to paint. Tomorrow is always a new day. Start thinking about it today. Imagine where it can take you, and then allow every day to be a new day to explore and to step into that. So it really requires being kind to yourself. I'm just going to keep on painting. Keep on filling in these letters. Because we were all born to paint. We are not to paint. We are all born creative. And it's never too late to begin. And you think about we're making changes all the way through our lives. This one is super important. Hello from rainy Florida. Rain. I love rain. Rain's a good thing. I've always loved rain, but certainly where I live it's dry and we definitely could use rain a lot more than we get. So think about, people that want to lose weight, right? They might have been carrying that weight for a long time. And at some point they think, it's not, this is holding me back, or whatever their motivation is. They decide to lose that weight. They decide to let go of that which is holding them back. They feel like the weight is holding them back, and they make the decision to live differently, to be different, right? To be a healthier person. And that happens anytime in life, right? So we're always changing and evolving, and that is certainly the case when it comes to our creativity. There's no right or wrong time to step into your creativity. There's no right or wrong age. So when it's right for you, you'll know when the right time is. All right, I'm going to keep coloring in, painting in these letters. Maybe play a little bit more with some color, we'll see. So think about it. So think about, we're all born creative. When did you first see yourself as creative, as an artist, as a painter? When did you first really connect with that? Was it when you were a kid? Was it, and own it, when did you first feel it and really own it? Was it when you were a kid? Was it when, maybe you were a teenager or a young adult? It happens different stages in life. We come to the realization that, this is something I really want to do more of. I really want to express this more. And whatever time of life that is for you. And maybe it was when you were midlife. Or maybe it was when, you're retired and later in life. So no one can say when that time is right for you. You get to decide that. All right. So I hope you had fun. Oh, you were 54, Lynette. Awesome. Yeah. So there you go. You're proof that you can start at any age. Okay, I'm going to keep painting here, people. And if you'd like to see the final of this, let me know in the comments. And I hope this was helpful. Talking about, it's never too late to start painting and to start having fun with your creativity. No matter what your age, if you've got that spark inside you that says, I gotta create, I've gotta do something. You gotta listen to it. Listen to it because it's never too late. Start, there's plenty of people that are role models that have been, walked it before us, that have proven that whether it's in art and painting, like some of the famous folks that I mentioned earlier, or it's, everyday people making changes to improve their lives and to be more of themselves, whether it's through weight loss or someone that decides to, Lynette, it's never too late, whether it's somebody that decides, I'm in the running, I love to run, and there's a woman that ran her first marathon when she was 70 something. and she's famous for running the New York City Marathon and finishing that. And so it's just, you know, we see it all around us, and it can happen for you. You just have to say yes to it, right? And then start to imagine it. Start to think about, wow, what if I took out a pencil and just started drawing? What if I, just sat for 5 minutes and took out my paints and painted the tree that's in front of me? What if I played with some different colors today that I've never played with before? So start asking those questions to yourself, and let that creative juice start to flow and start to feel it. And be kind to yourself once it starts flowing. Talk kindly to yourself, and because it's so often we talk negatively to ourselves, right? We bash ourselves down. We start thinking, oh no, that doesn't look right, or that drawing isn't really look like what I was thinking, or and so it's so important to be kind to ourselves once we start really taking those steps. Excuse me. So I hope this was helpful for you today. If it is, give me a thumbs up. And if you know of someone else that this would be helpful for, feel free to share it and pass it along. Because I do believe the more people we have painting and playing, the more beautiful the world will be. So thanks for joining me, for taking time out of your day today, and I will see you next time at the canvas. All right, bye for now, guys.